the wife has got an attorney. So when he put that notice in, notice of error, notice of mistake, whatever he used, I think he didn't notice a mistake, which is fine. Because New York probably recognizes the word mistake instead of error. So I'm sure he researched it and said, what is the court more comfortable with, mistake or error? So it was fantastic. You know, I was talking to him for hours, and he condensed it, you know, to, yes, was it a page or two? Yes, but it was fantastic. It was good reading. And not my style, not super simple, but, you know, but it was fantastic. And her attorney, he was supposed to go to court last Monday, and he was given a notice to appear because he, you know, whenever there's a mention of fraud, everything stops, and you have to have a hearing within like 72 hours. That's the way it's supposed to be. You hear the word fraud in something, you know, you have to stop, and you have to find out, what's going on? A fraud. Whoa. Well, we're gonna have a hearing about this immediately. So for whatever reason, her attorney just probably said to the judge, "Oh, this guy's crazy," because he did a lot of crazy stuff before he talked to me. He was listening to my stuff, and he was coming up with a lot of this crazy, you know, common law, sovereign stuff. Oh, he was just all over the map. And he sent me some of his stuff before he actually called me, because he was like, you know, he makes decent money. So obviously, even though he makes decent money, he didn't want to give me any money. So he was going to try to figure it out on his own. So he even admitted, he said, well, look, he's like, you're right, I try to save every dime I make. So, yeah, I didn't want to, like, donate anything to you. I don't want to give you any money to help me. But when I tried to do your stuff, it just blew up all over the court. It just was you know, I seen some of the stuff. It's like, man, that's a freak show. I said, that's just some crazy shit. I said, man, you're all over the map with this thing. You're not even close. So then he donated to me. So then I started talking to him and started taking it really seriously. And he's getting a lot tighter. And it was funny. The earlier stuff that he put in, it just went nowhere. And the attorney for the wife, the ex-wife, she was absolutely correct in saying this is frivolous. You know, this is not proper procedure. I said to him, I said, sir, she's absolutely right. This is a total joke. You can't be putting this into the court. This is not the proper form. This is not proper procedure. This is frivolous. And you better stop before the judge doesn't allow you to do any more movement in that court. And she's going to run you over like a freight train. And I said, you better tighten your stuff up. So then he tightened it up, and he wrote a heck of a notice of error. I think he wrote notice of mistake. And the judge scheduled a hearing within 3 days. Like, wow, Carl, I got a hearing in 3 days. I got to get my ass down there on Monday. So that was last Monday. And so then, fortunately for him, her attorney must have said to the judge, look, he's just doing all this frivolous nonsense. It's just a waste of time. He doesn't follow proper procedure. He's bringing stuff in, you know, that doesn't belong here. And the judge probably agreed and said, okay, fine. You know what? We'll have a hearing at the end of March 30th, like we were supposed to. Well, then he calls me up the other day and says, no, Carl, they rescheduled it for this coming up Wednesday. So I got to get down there on Wednesday. I said, yes. So what the judge probably did was she probably took the attorney's word at face value, that reading a lot of the other kooky stuff you put in the past. But then when the judge actually sat down and read what you wrote, the judge was like, oh, no, this is good. And then the judge is letting you have a hearing before, like, your trial on the 30th. She's allowing it to be discussed before the 30th. I said, holy crap. I said, that's fantastic that the judge, you know, said, no, you know what? We are going to have a hearing to discuss this notice of a mistake, that it was based on fraud. So I was like, that's fantastic. I said, now you just got to be able to basically just stand behind what you wrote, you know. And he's like, well, I want to come down tomorrow and practice a little bit, you know, before I go to trial on Wednesday. I said, look, I don't blame you. I said, I don't blame you. You want a confidence boost? That's fine. So he said he's going to come down here tomorrow afternoon. Like I said, it was just nice that the judge actually looked at it, and she must have, or he or she, whatever the judge is, must have read it and said, no, this is a damn good notice of mistake. You know, so it's nice when they read it, and you realize, hey, you know, he's got something here that she just didn't blow it off. I mean, it's a hell of a notice of mistake. because he went for the no fault divorce. And I said, no. I said, you don't let her get away with that, because when she filed for that the no fault divorce, she's probably like, well, I love you, but I'm not in love. Bullshit. He's like, yeah, that's what she told me. I was like, yeah. And then you found out after you filed this paperwork that she was seeing somebody on the side, because this guy's in the military and he wasn't living with her at the time. He was going back and forth wherever he was based. And he's like, yep. He said, I found out, later on that she was seeing somebody. I said, good. I said, because only a wife could file for no fault divorce. Can you follow where I'm going yet, Gus, or no?
Only a wife can file for a no-fault divorce?
Yeah. A husband or wife could file for no-fault divorce.
Yeah, these guys weren't married?
No, they were married. They were legally, lawfully married. But we brought up the fact to court that only a wife could file for no-fault divorce. Only a wife or a husband could file for no-fault divorce, right? If you're going to file for divorce, you have to be a husband, you have to be a wife, right? You're not a bus driver filing for divorce, right? You're a husband or a wife, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so why did all of a sudden look at my circle reasoning and say, holy shit, this guy's got something here? Can you figure it out yet, Gus? If anybody could figure it out, man, hit *8 and try to guess what I wrote. She filed for divorce, okay? I explained she couldn't file for divorce because only a husband or wife could file for divorce. Were they legally and lawfully married? Yes. But only a husband or wife could file for divorce.